How's it going out there, everyone? W.F.S, your doctor here today. And I have a question for you. What was your opinion of the last episode of Deep Space Nine, the series finale, What You Leave Behind? Did you think the conclusion of this story was satisfying enough? Do you think they need to pursue it any further? Or do you think it was an underwhelming story? For me, Deep Space Nine, and I think I've said this quite a few times, but Deep Space Nine for me is my favorite series in the entire Star Trek franchise. I have seen more character and plot development in this one series than I have in any of the others. And probably one of the best written villains in the entire franchise has to be Gul Dukat. I have never seen a character, 1 minute he's your friend, next minute he's your enemy, next minute you don't know what to make of him, all of a sudden he's making deals with the devil. This character was just so evil, and the brilliance of this character, I absolutely like the history, how this character grew throughout the series, and I just feel like, as I said before, he is the best written villain in the entire Star Trek franchise. Okay, well, let's just talk about the real reasons why I'm making this video today, and that's to talk about Captain Sisko here. Now, throughout the entire series, as I said before, I like this series because of the character development that has taken place, as well as the plot, the stories. They've grown so much. I really think this was a fantastic series, but Sisko is the main subject of this video because of a new series that's coming up, and everybody knows about it, Starfleet Academy. The first Starfleet Academy teaser trailer had this little clip right here, and it had to do with Captain Sisko, confronting the unexplainable, the fate of Benjamin Sisko, emissary of the prophets. Did he die in the fire caves, or is he living with the prophets in the celestial temple? Now, they're giving us the impression that somewhere in this season of Starfleet Academy, they're going to talk about Sisko. Did he ever come back to Cassidy Yates? Or is he still in the celestial temple or the wormhole? Interesting questions, but the question that I have in all of this is, does this stuff really need to be answered?
When will you be back?
It's hard to say. Maybe a year. Maybe yesterday. But I will be back.
Okay, so you just heard the clip there. Sisko says he's going to return to Cassidy Yates. Could be a year, could be yesterday. Now, a lot of people are assuming that that means he's going to physically return to, I don't know, maybe help out in Starfleet. I mean, heck, there's a IDW comic out there where Sisko does return to help protect the prophets, because apparently there's some kind of god killer out there, and Sisko's the only one who can save them. But now we're talking about Star Trek's Starfleet Academy, and they've got this clip here, and everybody is just naturally assuming that this means that Sisko is going to return. Now, I'm going to put a little spin onto this little thing here. Let's not forget that Cassidy, Sisko's wife, was pregnant. What happened to their child? And since we are now into 800, no, I guess that would be like 600 years or 700 years into the future, this would have to be some kind of an ancestor of theirs. And are they going to try and say to us that this is a story that's going to have one of Sisko's relatives in it? Someone who has a connection to the emissary of the prophets? You see, this is where it gets a little scary and frustrating for me at the same time, because as I've stated before, I like the ending of Deep Space Nine. I thought it was a nice conclusion to a fantastic series. But we have comic book here. Star Trek is finally about to address a 26-year-old mystery, and it's about time. Really? Why? Why do we have to address this? Why can't this be one of those mysteries that we just are never going to have the answer to? Okay, so comicbook.com really wants to know what happened to Benjamin Sisko. So, what happened to Benjamin Sisko after the end of Deep Space Nine's show 1999 finale? What you leave behind. The commander sacrifices his physical form in the fire caves of Bajor to stop the Pa Wraith, becoming a spiritual entity with the prophets in the wormhole. Before vanishing, he appears to his wife Cassidy Yates, promising to return someday. Whether he did has remained an almost romantic mystery. Really? It's a romantic mystery? But the next show, Starfleet Academy, is finally going to engage with the question. Hidden in the show's first trailer, we see Carice Brooks Sam in front of a display that reads the fate of Benjamin Sisko, confronting the unexplainable, the fate of Ben Sisko, emissary of the prophets, Captain Sisko's fate. Did he die in the fire caves of Bajor? Did he live in the celestial temple? Okay, so the article says that Benjamin sacrificed his physical form to stop the Pa Wraiths. But the question that I have is, did he sacrifice his physical form? His body? Did he die in the fire caves?
The prophets saved me, Cassidy. I'm their emissary. And they still have a great deal for me to do.
Right there, Sisko admitted it. The prophets saved him. His body didn't get destroyed. They pulled his body out. He is now with them in the celestial temple. They have a lot more for him to do before he can return. Okay, first let's examine the question that was asked in that Starfleet Academy trailer. Did Captain Sisko die in the fire caves? No, he did not. Sisko already answered the question when he said that the prophets saved him. Which goes back to another thing that Sisko said talking to Cassidy Yates. He is going to return. You can't return if you don't have a physical body to return with. If anything I've learned from the Deep Space Nine series is that the prophets, even the Pa Wraiths, did not have physical forms. They had to possess a human body or an alien body in order for them to return to our reality. Therefore, Sisko's body is not destroyed. Alright, so the article continues. It would seem that Sisko's fate has become part of Starfleet Academy's curriculum, and the suggestion that his fate remains unknown in the 32nd century would seem to suggest that he didn't return to his wife. Okay, so I think I've touched a little bit, and I think I've clarified a couple of things about this article regarding Captain Sisko. He is alive. His body did not get destroyed in the fire caves. And I honestly am quite happy with the conclusion of his story. We don't know when and if he's ever going to return. And the only other question that I have about this is, throughout the entire series of Deep Space Nine, the prophets have only been focused on the history and the future of the Bajoran people. So it just doesn't strike me as them honestly caring about what happens to the Federation. They're more interested in protecting, again, the people of Bajor. So whatever happens, if Sisko does return, it will have something to do with Bajor. Now, as I said before, there was an IDW comic out there that talked about Sisko's return because there was some kind of a god killer out there, and it was trying to kill off the prophets as well. And if I'm not mistaken, the god killer was created by Lore. So I'm going to end the video right here, but I would love to hear your thoughts and comments. So please drop them below and let me know. Until the next time, my friends, God bless.